This problem asks us to find the derivative of y with respect to x, given that x and y are related to each other through this equation. And notice that we're not going to be able to get y by itself on one side and have the other side completely in terms of x. So we're going to have to use implicit differentiation to find this particular derivative. Right? In other words, we're going to treat y as though it's some function of x. We just don't know exactly what. So the first step is to go ahead and differentiate both sides with respect to x. Okay. Keeping in mind that y is some function of x, this first term is the product of two functions, so we have to use the product rule. So the first is x squared. The derivative of y squared with respect to x is 2 times y, subtract 1 from the power, and then chain on the derivative of y, right? So this is just an application of the chain rule to the derivative of y squared. Second part of the product rule, we have to add the second times the derivative of the first. So we have y squared times 2x. Derivative of negative x with respect to x is a negative 1. And the derivative of 2y with respect to x is just a 2y prime. On the right side, the derivative of a constant is equal to 0. So after we've taken the derivative of both sides, maybe a good next step is to go ahead and simplify this a little bit. So this is 2x squared y prime plus 2x y squared minus 1 plus 2y prime equal to 0. And so from here, we're looking for y prime, right? We're looking for dy dx here. So from here, we just solve this equation for y prime. Okay, and whenever you're solving an equation for an unknown, the first step is to isolate the terms with that unknown on one side of the equation. So on the left side, we have our terms with y prime, and I'm going to subtract 2xy squared from both sides and add 1 to both sides. So now I have my y prime terms isolated on this left side, and to combine these two terms, we kind of employ the process of factoring out the y prime. And once we do that, we now have y prime times something that doesn't involve any y primes at all. So to solve for this y prime, we're just going to divide both sides by that something. So y prime is negative 2x y squared plus 1, all divided by 2x squared y plus 2. And the fact that we have y's over on this right side is okay, and it just kind of illustrates the fact that we weren't able to determine what y is explicitly in terms of x. So there's our solution.